Thank God this shit's gonna be edited. Everybody, happy St. Paddy's Day for our interview.
I really don't drink. I'm
really over it.
Part.
I feel like I'm doing it wrong because I don't.
Oh shit! I'm not trying to make him cry. I apologize. Try it up first. He's rocking down here, and we're gonna have a good time listening to him.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I was pretty lit in the other video. But I felt in order to accommodate both of the artists, they would need to do separate interviews. So without further ado, Hollow Grant and MBuzek.
Tell me when we're live.
We're live right now.
Oh, we're live right now.
I have here...
My name is MBuzek. I'm a local artist.
Today we're going to be interviewing Hollow Grant. How are you doing today?
I'm alright. How are you doing?
A little nervous.
A little nervous.
Always a little nervous. How do you know Hollow?
I got in touch with Hollow probably roughly about 4 to 6 months ago. I had mentioned that I was going to be putting on another art show and wanted something different, and I was like, let's do this.
How do you know MBuzek?
I actually met him through my roommate. He had told me about this guy that he knew that was into art and done art shows and things like that, and so he had shared my Facebook page with him, and he had sent me a friend request, and from there we got the ball rolling.
What do you think of her artwork so far that you've seen?
From what I've seen, very talented. Really, it can create some things that I don't see, and that to me is what art is. Being able to, for somebody to be able to create something that I don't see, you don't see, but yet we can all look at and be like, oh wait, I just saw something different. Like that's what it is. And it was good. It was a quality artwork that you can't find.
I think his art is very creative. You know, he has a mindset that goes into unconditional love a lot. I always see, you know, heart and, you know, passion. And I think that kind of exudes what he feels in his art and in his life as a father.
How did you start getting into painting and doing artwork?
I got into it because it was a way for me to not get into trouble per se. It was a way for me to express what was going through my head. It was a way for me to express what I felt. That's what I try to portray in a lot of my artwork. Some of them, yes, that's just because of the music and the mood, and I'm feeling, you know, certain styles or certain brush strokes. But it was more of a way for me to say, I feel like crap. How do I express this without making somebody mad? How do I express this without irritating a whole bunch of people?
You know, it's kind of a funny story. I'm a creative person all around. Painting was not something that I ever really thought I would see myself doing. I started a little venture, just was doing some things, trying to be creative. You know how you just have that moment where, you know, you just feel like you're missing out and you gotta try something new. So I started doing flow paint.
What's flow paint?
Flow painting is when you actually use a flow medium and you actually water down and mix the paints up, which I use acrylics. Okay. And you use them as a pour, and you pour them onto the canvas instead of brushing them or scraping them or using a tool.
Is that why you get all the swirls and stuff?
Yes,
oh.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm very abstract. I don't like being stuck in a certain genre, you know, like I've watched Bob Ross growing up when I was younger, so I don't want to be stuck with just only doing happy trees, which by all means, Bob Ross, rock on, awesome artist. I don't like that classification of one specific style. I like being able to just create, you know, whether it's canvas, whether it's drawings, whether it's woodworking, just to be able to create. I don't want to say I have a style, but if I had to classify it, it's definitely abstract.
What do you see when you look at a blank canvas?
I see nothing until I put that first drop of paint. When I put that first drop of paint on that blank canvas, that's when the story begins.
It all depends on what I'm listening to. It all depends on what I've been going through in life. Sometimes you get a song that's just stuck in your head and you can feel it. Sometimes there's a song where you're just like, I just want to smooth and, you know.
Right.
So music obviously is going to influence anything that I do, and definitely life. So sometimes in life, you know, you have those darker sides where you see a lot of darkness, and, you know, love is definitely Valentine's Day is love, obviously. So reds, and you have that darkness of blacks, and you have that medium. And sometimes when in friendships, relationships, and even work friends and things like that, you have those reds, whites, and blacks that just all go together.
How long does it take you to, like, paint? Not paint necessarily, but think of that first, what color, what, you know?
Usually it just pops in my head and I just start grabbing tubes and I'll just start spraying them. Depending on what I'm doing, I might spray them straight on the table and use my knives and, you know, mix up some stuff and then start, you know, painting. Sometimes I do it with both hands, sometimes I do it with one. But to answer your question about the blank canvas, I would have to say that I guess I would see myself.
So how has your artwork, like, transformed since you first started? When did you first start?
I started in 2015. Definitely in the sense of quality, way better. Being able to understand why I want certain brush strokes, being able to understand why I want certain things the way they are. Getting started, it was kind of a hobby. Seeing things at Walmart and Target, being like, I'm not paying $40 or $50 for that. How can I make that? And that was my initial start. Probably after about 6 months to a year, then it was like, this is a great way for me to pour myself into it without causing pain for anybody else.
Right. I started doing this last year, which is the first time I really picked up paint to be creative. But my creative side didn't hit until after I got into a car accident. I was shook up pretty bad in there, you know, had whiplash, got hit, you know, in the head. I was feeling real down about myself. And things just weren't, you know, looking up for me. So I was like, you know what, I need to do something. Because I'm very familiar with what depression is. You know, I felt less falling into a slump. And I said, you know what, I'm going to go get some paint, some canvases.
I think it's really dope that you can turn that, like, instantly think about that when you know you're going through, like, depression or negative thoughts and having that. I think it's neat that to see what people turn to instead of, you know, drugs and stuff like that, to turn it into something positive.
Yeah, because it's absolutely possible.
Definitely.
You know, you have to have the will to fight, and that's fighting. I do things now to, you know, take notice and like, oh, you know, life ain't going right. You know, life's not fair. You know, nobody said it had to be. You know, but we have to be fair to ourselves.
Like, look at this as a source of therapy for you in a sense.
Oh,
like,
yes. Oh, yes.
You feel like...
there are paintings that I have done that I've stepped back and been like, wow, I need to walk away. I need to just breathe. That was intense for me.
But was it a big release for you?
Yeah, there has been quite a few of them that I've done, and, you know, through the years that I'm like, whether it's a happy release like, woo, woo, that was cool. I was able to create something, and I've done commission pieces like that where, oh, that was awesome, you know. And then there are pieces that was awesome to get out. Now I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not going to beat anybody up or nothing like that.
Turn bad situations into positive. You don't always have to turn to negative things.
Absolutely.
You can always, it's always two-sided. You can either do something bad or turn your situation into something good.
Right.
But you have a painting. Tell me a little bit about this.
This is one of my flow art paintings that I did that I was super proud of. It was my very first one. And this was the main reason why, you know, I paint today. This was some flow art. I don't know if you guys can see that.
We can zoom in a little bit. Get a little shot. But no, I really like all the textures. Oh my gosh.
You can have it.
No.
You can have it.
No.
Yeah. I'll sign it and date it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, you always gotta gift an artist something that gifted, and you gifted me this interview.
Stop
I
it.
appreciate it.
I really love. I'm gonna put this down because it's mine now. But I love it and thank you.
And you're welcome.
I appreciate it. No, I don't really want it though because you said you said it was one of your first paintings.
I made it for you, apparently. It's your own meteor shower.
Yes.
That's the name of it.
I love it. You try to make me cry on this show. I can't be doing this. Now you can show your artwork. So sorry.
Oh, so now we're gonna show it.
Now it's time.
Now we'll slowly slide this up so everybody gets the entire view here. And one thing I want to do is I want to do a close up if we can. And the piece that you just saw is called "Stitching My Heart Back Together." It's time that I created this. It was a rough time emotionally. And after having been through 2 divorces, sometimes you go through life and you feel like the only way that you can continue going is if you stitch yourself back together, and you're the one that has to take everything and piece it back together. That's what this is. And this is one of those paintings, you know, like I had said, you get done and I have to walk away. There's no brush strokes in this one. This was one of the very first ones that I did by hand. Everything is stitched together by copper wire. A lot of time in this, and it was, the outcome was well worth it, therapy-wise. A lot cheaper than a therapist, I will say that. It was definitely a fun time and a very exhilarating time to be done.
Who inspires your artwork? But I feel like I know the answer to that question.
I think it's life. Life, you know, it's just in general, you know, just living, you know, just being able to create. You know, it's nice to just know that you can see what your mind was thinking.
Definitely.
And show people, you know, no matter if it makes sense to them, it's still beautiful.
Yeah.
Who inspired my artwork? MC Escher. I like the way that his artwork kind of makes you step back and question what you're seeing. You know, everything from the stairs where it's all on a piece of paper and it's 4 stairs, but yet they continually look like they are going downwards. Like that visual question. When I started doing artwork and drawings and things, that's what made me. I want people to fall into it. I want people to feel it. I want people to look at it and question and go, wait, is that what I just saw? Life inspires my artwork. Family, not so much. But my family has encouraged me a lot over the years to be creative, to try new things. And I've had family members buy pieces that I'm like, wait, what? You want that?
And I think it's dope that I could come over here and literally see something totally different than you probably intended. Someone come up to you and say, I saw this, and you look at it again and say, wow, you got that from that? You know, I wouldn't think that. Like, how do you how does that make you feel when people get different interpretations from your paintings?
It makes me feel amazing because, I mean, when somebody says, oh, well, I see this, or if you got 10 people in the room, they see 10 different things, I'm like, that's 10 different types of different amazing. You know, it's really nice to know that you can touch people different. You know, male, female, black, white, gay, straight, skinny, tall, plump, thick, thin, slim, thick, whatever you want to call yourself. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, hey.
How do you feel when someone gets a different interpretation from your artwork than what you intended the interpretation to be?
How do I feel? Awesome. And honestly, in this particular piece, I was at a show that I had done towards the end of last year, and I actually had a woman come up and look at it, and she was like, I know what you were feeling, or something close to what you were feeling when you did that. And that's awesome. Getting started, to have somebody be like, oh, that's horrible, or that looks like crap, or it was hard for me to be able to do that. It took me a while to understand that artwork, not everybody's going to like what I do.
Definitely.
But there are millions of people in the world. And if only 10% of them like us, that's still at least 1 million people that like us. It's just getting to that market, just getting to that niche of people that do like you. You know, that's the hard part.
Do you feel like coming out to your parents hindered your creativity in a sense? Or not being able to come out to people hindered your creativity in life in a sense?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You have to almost be careful with what you allow people to see. You might let a little bit too much of yourself out. Definitely. You know, so you got to be careful because you don't know if this is too much like being gay. You know, you always worry. You always worry about it.
I get the connection because we both did it, and I know the same struggle we've seen. And so I think that's where the connect starts.
You have a right to feel as different as you are. You know, there's nothing wrong with being different. There's nothing wrong with being strange, weird. That's exciting.
I think the world has seen how creative people of different sexualities are. It's crazy because when you see a gay person or transgender person or a person of a different sexuality, you stop and look for a minute and you admire their beauty.
Yeah, there's really something about them.
It's always something about somebody else that has a different sexuality, how they carry themselves. You have to admire their beauty and the creativity it took to put all this together to express yourself. I have the floor to express my sexuality how I want. It's not an excuse, but to me, it's opening that door to say, here I am, this is a side of me, and this is who you're gonna get. You know, this is who you wanted me to be, but guess what? It's so much more to me than just what you see on the surface. How do you want people to feel when they view your artwork?
However they want to feel. The stuff that I do, the stuff that I've posted and listed and things like that, I want people to feel whatever they feel. You're going to feel whatever you want to feel. You might look at something and say, that makes me sad, but to me, that made me happy. You know, you might look at something and say, that is awesome, and I might look at it and say, that's a piece of crap. I might post something and, 1,500 people might like it, whatever. But I'm going to paint over it anyway because I don't like it. Artwork is somebody's interpretation. And it's very important that, at least for me as an artist, that somebody's interpretation of what I do isn't what I see it. It's going to be different. Yes, it could be the same. Yes, they could feel those same emotions that I have, but it could potentially just be that's just a beautiful thing and I really like it just because.
How do you want people to feel after they view your artwork?
Free. free to express themselves, free to express, you know, whatever it is that they're feeling at that moment, because I know that sometimes people look at my paintings and get emotional. And, you know, it's really nice for somebody just to unlock like that. I'm thankful and humble. And I'm honored and very excited that I was even asked to even be a part of it. So, Matt, thank you. That was amazing, you even asking, and I'm going to be forever grateful.
When is the show?
When is the show?
When is the show?
My favorite part here, April 24th.
The show is April 24th.
April 24th.
At the Rialto Theatre.
The Rialto Threatre on Kenmore Blvd.
On Kenmore Blvd.
Sound like ravioli to me. Wait a minute. Rotello. That sounds like a noodle. But it's gonna.
The art show is titled "The Insanity Is Real."
And what does that mean?
Because sometimes you have to be insane to create, you know, to a point. You have to feel above and beyond. You have to think above and beyond to be able to think above normal.
What time do you think?
We have Logan Bruce. He's from Amherst. He's going to be playing at 7 o'clock. We have the Vane Cash duo. So if you like rockabilly, Johnny Cash, and I just thought about this, Chuck Berry. Hopefully we can get some Elvis Presley thrown in there. If we do, awesome. They will be playing at 8:30. My shows will never be normal art shows. There will be live music. There will be some crazy artwork. Come down. Go to the bar, have some drinks, have some fun.
I'll be there. We'll be there. I'll be there. We'll be there. And you can see some beautiful artwork like this. And this mine though, y'all can't have this.
Can I put a challenge out to you since we're live and we're recording?
He thinks everything is live. He thinks everything we do is live. He's like, make sure you go live. And it's not that. We're not live.
I know we're not live, but we are recording. All right. So you're gonna be at the show?
Mm-hmm. Oh geez, what is it?
For at least a little bit, tune in to his channel. For at least 10 minutes, 15 minutes, we are going to live stream at the show. Can we do that?
Yeah, we can do.
Okay, we can.
I'll do it as long as I can see all the art pieces that are there. I definitely want to get people's reactions.
Okay, we will have another live stream when the Vane Cash duo go on. If he's
will.
Will.
This is why he needs a manager.
Literally.
No, I don't need a manager.
You need something. Where can we follow you?
MX Hollow Lee Grant on Facebook. Sunyata Abstracts is also my page on Facebook, so you can hit me up on there and see some of my work. And I also offer classes, so if you guys are interested in booking me, I'm the person.
And what is, you said Sunyata?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Hollow. It's Sanskrit.
Wow. It's what?
Sanskrit.
Now what is that?
It's Buddhist.
Oh.
Yeah. I actually have it. There's a whole thing.
Oh my
tattooed
gosh.
Sunyata Bhava Nirvana.
Oh my god.
And it means hollow emotions at higher peace.
You can follow me, MBuzek Art. Wait a minute, hang on. It's Matt Buzek on Instagram. The last name Buzek for Instagram. I post on there all my paintings, all my creative aspects, even when I'm doing stuff with my daughters, so everybody can see, you know, the techniques and hopefully things like that. And then I have MBuzek Art for Facebook. You guys can follow me on there as well.
I'm really excited to see the show. I don't think you realize that, but I am.
I'm glad you're going to be there. You last year, you know, I mean, things happened and whatever. You had to work, whatever. But this year, hopefully things...
Shady!
Shady. You knew about my last show, God damn it.
I did, but I really didn't have to work.
You didn't have to work. What'd you do?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
That's
it
always
for
the
you.
answer.
See, that's why I said you had to work. That is a really good excuse. Don't tell me I'm shady. I'm trying to help you cover.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Also, the information on the art show will be in the description below, as well as their social media links. I really enjoyed making this video, and you'll see why very, very soon.